You are about to enjoy another fun-filled back alley radio talk show. But let's get a few things out of the way first, shall we? The program you are about to partake in is intended for mature audiences only. So, if you are easily offended by dick and fart jokes, easily offended by frequent references to male and female genitalia, easily offended by detailed descriptions of various sexual situations, or easily offended just because you're a liberal snowflake and are triggered by anything remotely funny, please make sure to refill your prescription for Grow-A-Set before continuing onward. Second, the opinions and viewpoints given tonight are the sole property of the giver. Just because you don't agree with it doesn't mean you need to start rioting in our name. Finally, we are not doctors, lawyers, construction workers, cops, or Indians. Just because we're dumb enough to try stupid shit on the air doesn't mean you can do it on your own and blame it on us. Oh yeah, and we swear. A lot. So put the children to bed and enjoy the program.
You gotta be patient. You gotta leave it alone, put it away in the rack house, and let nature take over.
Authentic is cool, once again, and that's come back around. We want to know where her product came from.
Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey is where it's at. It's where the excitement is.
It's not grabbing a bottle of beer out of a cooler. It's let me pour you a glass of this. Let me tell you where this came from. Let me tell you the story on this. It's history in a glass.
Bourbon heritage is American heritage. Every phase of American history is reflected through bourbon history.
You can't control the seasons, you can't control how long the summer is or how hot it gets outside. So each individual barrel is going to have an individual character, and I think that's pretty magical.
The hardest thing is mashing it, distilling it, throwing it in the barrel, and then all of a sudden just, oh, I guess we'll wait and see what happens.
Predicting where bourbon is going because it's so far surpassed where we thought it could go. There's more innovation ahead of us than behind us.
From the SKO Media Group studio in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, it's time for the Some Kind of Radio Show, starring Earl McCune and the Crazy Crew. Call in or text to 234-200-5110. That's 234-200-5110. Now, here's Earl McCune and the Crazy Crew.
Okay, yes, we are broadcasting this time. Tony, you with me here, buddy?
Yeah.
Tony's passing out. We had an hour hiatus here. That's what happens when, best way I can put it to everybody is shit hit the fan.
Yeah.
We were supposed to be on an hour ago. We started a show, and then we didn't. John, you with me, buddy?
I am here, sir.
Okay.
And you can hear us.
You can hear us. I can hear you.
Goody.
It's a wonderful day. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
It is.
No.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. No, she's not. She's not
I have to tell you funny about that, actually. When I was a little kid, you start hearing the theme music to Mr. Rogers, and of course, that was the time when I'd run from the kitchen into the TV room and just sit there and watch it, you know?
Right.
I was like, it's coming on. Okay, I'll be there.
Yeah, I remember that show. Anyway, I'm going to start the the show here now an hour late. We're only going to be on 2 hours tonight, guys. So we're only here till 10. We are not doing a 3-hour show tonight because we started a show an hour ago, but then we had a computer glitch. We had a equipment malfunction with our sound cards. And now that all that's been resolved, we're here for 2 hours. So quick, abbreviated show. John, just kind of like the old days, 2 hours.
That's right. That's right. I kind of like the 2-hour shows, actually.
Yeah. But it's going to feel short, but at the same time, it's not, because tonight is, again, a movie that no one really knows about. It's a documentary we're saluting about bourbon, and Tony's passing out over here. Tony, you okay? You, I think you need some bourbon now, buddy.
I think he needs a Red Bull or Monster.
You need a Red Bull?
No.
Okay.
I should have been sipping on this the last hour, but
yeah. Well, you're like intently waiting on me to fix the system, but system went down for what we had. We had a sound card problem. Connection was loose. Actually, the ultimate problem was a loose connection, and then we tried running Zoom video on my end, which completely confused the computer. So I'm like, okay, we're not even gonna we're gonna go back to what we know works. So. I do want to start off the show again how I started the last hour, or last time, because the last little bit of show we did didn't go out at all. If you notice at the top of the show, you heard call now 234-250-110. That number is no longer our number. We got rid of the phone lines. We ditched the phones, and a lot of it again we weren't getting the listener. We weren't getting the calls. Let's just be honest. And for us, we're not really much of a call-in show anymore these days. We're really not. We are pretty
we're
self-sufficient.
Here to basically entertain you.
Yeah, we're here to entertain you. I mean, back in our early days, we relied on the phone calls. We don't anymore. We got enough personalities, and we got enough content and personalities. Plus, we've done so many of these shows.
Yeah.
We know how to just be self-sufficient. We don't rely on a phone call. So there is no more phone call. I mean, you're going to hear this show when we come back, call the number. Ignore it. It's not going to go through. That'll be the last time you'll hear that actual announcement. Next show we do in 2 weeks, that announcement will no longer be played. So, again, we weren't getting the phone calls, so what's the point of taking them? I mean, and plus we're paying $25 a month for a phone line that we weren't taking calls for. So, I mean, for the last, I look at this, the last year of Back Alley's been open. We had that number since SKO. And, you know, it was great during the SKO days because we didn't have Zoom. So we had to rely on the phone line because that's how John would call in and be on the show.
Right.
You remember the old days of the bat phone?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, we had to hook my cell phone in and hook it to a microphone and then hope to God it worked. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I get even better than that. What was it? The Google
Hangouts?
Google Hangouts. Remember Google Hangouts?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. We're getting reminiscent about this because, you know, going into 2022, we are going to be doing some more expansions on this program. When we start the shows in 2022, there'll be 2 additional microphones at the table. We're going to have a 6 microphone setup here. And I'm going to update a few things with the wiring and a few things. I was looking at, I'll tell you what I was looking at was Bluetooth headsets.
Yeah.
My God, that shit's expensive. $200 a set.
Well, see, like I've looked
to run Bluetooth into the board.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I've looked at
I was looking at wireless mics too. It's like $200 a set.
Well, not even so much just wireless mics, just wireless headsets.
Yeah.
Like that. Like I could get on, and what did I pay? I think $30 or $35 for my headphones that I use here. Mm-hmm. They're Audio Technicas. They're near top of the line.
Yeah.
And I could, like, people that buy, like, the cordless headsets to listen to their phone when they're out running or something.
Right.
You buy, like, some Beats by Dre or something like that.
Right.
100-something, and it's just all about, I mean, and when you buy them, you got to make sure that it can get a Bluetooth connection to something.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's, I really love to go wireless on a lot of this stuff, but it's just not cost effective for us right now. I mean,
even if I had a pair of wireless ones, I've got no way to
right, because you got to get the adapters for them, and the adapters into the board is what's $200.
Yeah,
it's like the wireless microphones. Yeah, I can get them. I can hook a little plug in just like one of these here.
Yeah,
and it hooks to the bottom of the microphone, and we could be talking on wireless microphones all night long.
Yeah,
but they're $200 a pop, and the battery life on them things is not very good.
Yeah, I remember.
So for a 4-hour or 3-hour show, it would suck.
Yeah.
You know, so I'd like, we'll
One
just stick
charge would probably last you through the show.
Maybe.
Maybe.
And as much as we do shows and everything, I'd be afraid of losing the batteries in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, just being totally 100% honest about it.
When I worked at the mortgage company, I had bought one of the kids that I had left when I got up there. I bought his wireless headset because you could hook him in. It was real easy to hook him into the phone system. You could hardwire plug them into the phone system.
Yeah.
The way you plugged in these headset, just had to have something electrical.
Actually, this bourbon is really good with Coke.
Okay.
By the way, just FYI, really good with Coke.
Let me have a little bit here.
Yeah, go for it. It's really good with Coca-Cola. I got more if you need it. I got plenty of it. Straight. Did you take a sip of it straight?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good. Mix it with a Coke,
Mm-hmm.
then you get that sweetness of it. Let's go with the Coke.
Yeah.
I like it with the Coke. Tonight is bourbon night, guys. As you can see, we're doing a salute to Neat. John's got his bourbon out. John, what are you sipping on tonight, my friend?
Hey, Blanton's, actually.
Blanton's, and that's one of the top-of-the-line bourbons here. So
It is.
And there is a mention.
Single-barrel bourbon.
Yep.
Done by the same people that make Buffalo Trace bourbon in Kentucky.
Yep. There is a mention of Blanton's in this one of my clips here tonight. I hope I get to it. I think it's clip 3, so I'm going to probably play like 1, 3, and 5 just so we can get through them tonight because we are doing an abbreviated show tonight. So we're just going to do 1, 3, and 5, and I think clip 3 is the Blantons. They talk about Blanton's, how that's kind of how the story got it all started about being the guy. It was Mr. Blanton, and they talk about the whole thing. So, but
yeah, the Colonel.
Yeah, the Colonel. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, because
here in the studio we have 3 of them tonight, so we're reviewing this, and just to give us a quick review, we've already sampled it. This is Cleveland Underground bourbon whiskey finished with sugar maplewood. It's 46%, 92 proof. This is batch 9, bottle 2777. So probably closer to the bottom of the barrel on it. I don't know how many bottles they get out of a barrel, but
yeah,
this is batch 9. But by itself, not impressed. But I'll tell you what, I like it with Coke.
Yeah, it was pretty tasty with Coke.
It's really good with Coke. That's a good mixer. That's a really good mixer.
It's not a sipper.
That's not a sipper. That's a mixer. So I can keep that in mind. That's a good mixer.
Yeah.
If I were to rate it by itself, and I've sampled a few, and I like some of them.
I put it in the 5s.
I'm in the 5s. I'm in like 5.2 range for it myself. Mix it with the Coke, it's in the 7s.
Yeah.
I mean, again, nothing spectacular, but it's.
And I mean, I'm not much of a mixer type of.
I'm not either.
I usually don't mix. I mean, aside from putting vodka in some stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, when I drink my whiskey.
Yeah. I drink it straight.
Yeah. My Irish whiskey, my Jack,
Absolutely.
my Scotch.
Yep.
It's usually straight. I might drink, like, if I'm out, I might drink a Scotch and soda.
Right.
I mean, but that's just thinning it out a little bit.
Yeah, just thinning it out a little bit, but you're still getting all the flavor.
Yeah, it's the same thing when you drink something on the rocks.
Yeah.
Over time, as the ice melts.
It thins it out.
Yeah.
It keeps it cold. I mean, I like mine cold. I mean, we got ice tonight. We brought ice down here.
Yeah.
So again, so I know John's gonna rate his Blanton's way up there because that's
towards top of the heat.
Yeah. Like I said, that's one thing. It sucks. Mike Haig, he's out recovering from COVID. By the way, he will be back in 2 weeks. He's doing better. He's healing up or getting better.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the mend. So whole family came down with it pretty much. So rough deal. Just our thoughts are with our good buddy Mike because he was like, "Man, I really want to be there for this."
My friend.
Get well. Absolutely, Mike. Get well, buddy. And we were hoping, because Mike was really looking forward to doing this bourbon show. Because I told him, I said, one thing you have to worry about, Mike, is we're gonna have plenty leftovers here for you. So.
Well, that's why I brought in something to put in my belly when I didn't want to drink any bourbon on.
Yeah, that's why. That's when you got here. I was scarfing down meatloaf because I want to get something in me, But bourbon's kind of a thing. I like it, but I got to be in a mood for it.
Yeah,
that's just how I am. It's got to be. I got to be in a mood. Like I got to be in a mood.
I mean, it's the same way. I generally would, if I'm going to drink something at home, like I generally don't have scotch because scotch isn't one of those things. Like if I'm home and I know I ain't got to go anywhere, boom. I mean, I'll sit there and pour scotch after scotch after scotch, until I'm asleep.
Right.
And now something like this, I mean, I'm not usually a bourbon kind of a guy. I mean,
I'm not either, really. I mean, I got to be in a mood for it. You know,
if somebody
as the weather's getting cold, I'm kind of getting more in that mood for it. To me, this is something. He's like, I got to sit in front of a fire, sit in a fireplace, just sit there and just got to be cold, have something like sip on, and just keep warm because it will warm me up. That's for sure. But
I mean, it's the type of thing I'd sit smoke a cigar with.
Absolutely, yep. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. It's for me, it's a mood. I know there's a lot of people that are really like they collect it. I know a few people that are collectors of bourbon.
Yeah,
they go and buy a bottle of.
They'll have 10 different varieties at their bar.
Yeah,
just
maybe 10 or 20 different varieties. I got a buddy of mine. He's probably got 35 different varieties, and he goes and he drives. He'll drive 200 miles to get something that you can't get here.
Yeah, see, I just can't. I mean, I'm all about pretty much whatever's available.
Right.
And then that was why, like when I went and looked at something, I bought the pear flavored vodka because I mean. It was cheap. It was $15.
Right.
It sits on your bar for a year, and it takes me a year to get through it.
And this is going to sit for a while. This isn't going anywhere. I mean, this will
I
probably be here
I
for.
hope that was fairly cheap.
Like $31.
It ain't bad. I mean,
this was on the lower end of what I bought. The Makers was probably 35 or 36.
Yeah.
The Freedom was 33. So I mean, they're all right in the same ballpark and price range.
Yeah, it's the same way. It's like I need to get to. Get away from
I mean, I'm not going to buy no $50 bottle or something, just
no.
unless it's something I know I want. You know?
Hey, John.
Yes.
Next time you're going after, like, when you get your peach, you actually go to the store to get it, right?
He orders it.
No, actually, I do order it.
You order it. Okay, never mind. I'm going to,
but
I need to try to find, I still been trying that when I've been out, like when I go into Acme and get an ice cream when it's on sale, I go into their liquor section because every Acme, whether I'm either in Ellet or Talmadge up here, Chapel or whatever, wherever I can pop in and find one, I go into their liquor section because I've noticed they all tend to carry different shit.
Oh, every one of them does.
Every one of them does, depending on...
There's no consistency from store to store.
Because, there's different...
And that's okay, though.
Because there's different kinds of vodkas I want to try to sample. Vodka's always fairly cheap unless... I mean, there's not really... Unless you get in...
I know you're looking forward to getting that Black Skull, right?
I definitely want to try either the Black or the Aurora, either the Onyx or the Aurora, and I will pay $50 for that if I have to.
See, now let's say something like that. Yes,
because it's a higher end thing.
It's a higher end thing. Absolutely, I'll pay a little more for something higher end.
Yeah,
that I don't mind, especially if it's something I know I'm gonna like.
Yeah,
for me, this was really rolling the dice on these 3 bottles. I spent $100 on these 3 bottles.
Yeah,
I rolled the dice because I'm like I've never been a Maker's Mark fan, but I bought it because I know it's consistent. It's consistent.
Yeah, it's what people know.
That's what people know. So I bought some of that. I liked it mixed. Again, not one of those I'm going to drink straight.
Yeah.
This is probably the weakest of them all tonight. Again, this is only 92 proof.
Yeah.
So 46%. I mean, it's real. If you look at it, it's very light in color.
Oh, yeah.
And compared to the other ones. The other ones we have here tonight are a lot darker in color. One thing I've noticed, though, this Underground bottle and the Freedom bottle are identical.
Yeah, probably getting...
probably bottled the same place.
Yeah.
But...
or they're getting their bottle supply at the same place.
Yeah, we're getting a bottle supply. Same lid, same bottle, same design. It's a different label. But I can tell you the...
like Maker's Mark's always been...
Yeah.
Because you see... If you watch that video that I
posted,
in
the wax. Yeah, they wax.
Yeah, they dip it, let it set, and then every time it drizzles, all the drizzle patterns are different on every bottle.
Every one of them, absolutely.
That's how they seal them shut.
I will say this, because I did sample, throughout the week, I have sampled them all. Again, I got the Freedom this morning, and I'm like, okay, same bottle, but you can definitely see the Freedom is a little, not much, but a little darker.
Yeah.
A little bit darker.
We all got the cork lids and...
Yeah, but the bottle's identical.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're nice bottles. I mean, but...
It's like a medicine bottle. That's like what Just to make, I mean, you look at my Absolute bottle. I mean, you know, the way the guy got the design for it was he saw it in like an old bottle shop,
Right.
and it was
Yeah. Now see,
a medicinal bottle.
I did figure out what I like if I do, because I'll take one sip of these and I'm like, okay, I gotta mix them. I like Coke with this.
Yeah.
Go on to the makers. Pineapple juice.
Okay.
Works great. Go on to the Freedom. I drink ginger ale with it. I mean, and they all complement each other in different ways with that. So it's just really depends on the bourbon. But John's going like, you guys are a bunch of pussies. We're gonna drink it straight.
Yeah, I mean,
That's right. That's right. I take mine straight, sir.
Yes.
But actually, what were you looking for, Tony? You kind of mid sentence. You were looking for something, and you kind of cut off there.
I'm trying to either find Hangar One vodka.
Okay.
Because and they only make Hangar One in flavors. They make it. They make it like a wasabi.
Wasabi.
A wasabi vodka.
Oh my God.
Like a hot pepper kind of vodka. They make like a blueberry, I think a peach and something else. I've been trying to find that.
See, wasabi would be good for Mike because he likes the hot shit.
He likes the hot stuff.
Yeah.
And they only make them in 16-ounce bottle and like pints instead of making them in a fifth or a liter.
Right.
They always make them because they're made in such a small batch. Mm-hmm. Or I want to find Voli vodka, which is Pitbull's vodka. And when I've looked on some of the sites you can order booze from, it's actually really cheap.
Okay.
He makes a lot of different flavors of it. And he plants it every video he does, every music video, product placement right there because it says vodka, and it's just and it looks like it's a vodka you could definitely drink straight,
sure,
as opposed to having to mix it with stuff.
Yeah, I mean there's certain ones I can drink straight. You know, I mean like that cheap shit.
Yeah,
no way, I gotta mix.
I could drink the pear straight because it doesn't have the burn to it.
Give me like a Sky or a Stolies. I can drink them straight.
Yeah, you could drink those straight. Yeah. Now you get into some of the nastier stuff. But it's like I've had Grey Goose, but I can't drink that with just in and of itself. Yeah. Smirnoff is the same way. You got to mix Smirnoff with something. Yeah. Kettle One, I can drink Kettle One.
See, I used to drink Grey Goose straight though. Back in the day, I used to drink it straight because
I've never developed
job I used to have. My boss used to get those little mini shot bottles of
the airplane bottles.
And he had bags of these things. It's like, dude, how you use? I know people. I'm like, all right. So we go back and we'd open one up and tip one back and chase it with something and like, okay, we're good.
Yeah, because I knew like when I went on the trips through the mortgage company, we went to Scottsdale, and the first time I flew out, I'll drink a scotch or two on a 4-hour flight, just to calm my nerves a little bit. Sure. And it's like, okay, give me a glass of ice and just the little airplane bottle of Johnny Walker and everything. Right. And I'd asked her if I could, and it's fairly cheap too on a plane. It's like $4 for a drink. Right. It's not super expensive.
No.
To drink. So, and I remember asking.
Well, that was pre-COVID when they were still serving drinks on an airplane.
Yeah. But and serving booze.
Yeah.
And I remember asking the flight attendant, I was like, do people actually buy a couple extra airplane bottles, throw them in their pocket, and take them with them? And they're like, yeah, you can.
I love these glasses. I get these for $12 on Amazon for 6.
And they're a good highball glass.
They're a good highball glass. I got them for like I said, $12 for 6.
I got this thing. Now, John, I don't know if you have the store chain down by you. Have you ever heard of a department store called Belk?
Yes.
Okay. I had to go online because I had to find like my fitted sheet on my bed. There was a tear in it. And I don't want to overpay. My bedding was all Tommy Hilfiger, like a lot of the stuff I wear. So I Googled it. So I just Googled what I needed. It came up and had the best price. So I bought from them, but I got a card through them because open up your account.
Yeah, Belk's very comparable to a JCPenney, a Dillard's, that kind of store.
Okay, because I got the bedding like super cheap, and I bought, and then I bought, which I'm gonna go back on. I'm gonna try to go back online. I got for like $10 this little bartending set, which I got one for home, but I want to buy one from here. It's got a glass with the lid and the strainer shaker lid. It has a muddler. Okay. One of the proper bartending stirring spoons. Yep. And then one of the little cone things that we can measure a half ounce and an ounce. Yeah. I want to bring here. Right. I got one for home, but I want to buy one and bring here. Yeah. and it's got the little things on the side of the glass where it tells you
Oh
how to
yeah,
make all
yeah.
the drinks.
Actually, if you go on, I'll tell you what another place you can get them. Tipsy Bartender website. He's
Okay.
got a ton of that stuff.
Yeah, because I wanted a proper
Yeah.
bartending spoon, and
Yeah.
I needed
He's
a
got
muddler.
he's got a whole set of stuff. You know,
Yeah.
this comes with the shot glasses, the spoons. I mean,
I
the
need a
whole
muddler.
9 yards. Yeah, you got the strainers. It comes in like a whole kit, and he sells it on his website.
Yeah, that's what I got was this little kit thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little glass, and it's got on the side all the ingredient list for all the drinks.
If I had just a touch more room in here,
Uh-huh.
I'd put a little mini bar in here. You know, like the only other thought I had is like, well, because I don't think I'm allowed to expand any more than I am. But
Yeah.
if I had room to go out a little bit more and I kind of change, I'd put a mini bar over there. But I mean, I could put one here behind us.
Yeah.
You know, it just wouldn't be like a stand behind, but it'd be like just a place you can go, like be a bar back type of section. You know, back bar type of thing instead of like a regular bar. But I could do that too. I'm thinking about doing that. Put like a nice counter back here, and just a couple levels of bottles. I think that would look cool. Plus be functional.
Oh, absolutely.
And it'd go to use on Friday nights.
Big time. It's
Yes.
like, take your pick.
Yeah. What would you like? And I know in a couple weeks we're going to add a few more things, because in 2 weeks from now we are going to have our Christmas party, which we haven't done one in 3 years.
Yeah.
Wait, 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks? No, 4 weeks from now.
I was going to say you're going to do it the 18th, I thought.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so in a month.
Okay.
Yeah, we're doing it. Yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah, we're doing it the last show. Yeah,
Of the year.
Of the year for us. So that's
Right.
two shows from now. So next show we're gonna just salute a Christmas movie. We'll figure one out, and but the following show we're gonna do parody Christmas music as well as our Christmas karaoke, which we haven't done in. It's been a while. It's been almost.
Frosty the pervert.
Yeah. So the 17th. That's right.
I remember I did that in karaoke last year, and the looks I got from people, and I'm like, come on.
Because we're gonna do a show the 17th, because we are not doing a show on New Year's. We're gonna take off New Year's, and then we'll be back. You look at January's schedule. I believe we'll be back the 14th. So
Okay, yeah.
The only reason we're gonna do that is because the 7th is my birthday, and my wife wants to take me out. So
Well, yeah, I've seen her. She probably does want to take you out.
yeah, she does. So yeah, we'll come back on the 14th, then we'll resume that schedule, and then there may be a week in February coming up. I may have to miss a week because we're gonna have our regional at the bowling center. So. Which will.
Oh, by the way, you might want to tell your boss that it'd work great if he has the sign actually lit up at night.
Well, here's the problem.
Because I've been taking stuff up to Hudson.
We have an electrical problem.
Okay.
They're running. They're digging new lines because when they were fixing the concrete, they cut the power.
Of
so
course.
now they gotta go back and redig and fix it.
Yeah, because I go past and I'm like, I was gonna pop in on Wednesday, but it was like 9:30, and I figure you're probably done with league.
9:30 about the time we wrap up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, let me pause here. I was like, I'll pop in and.
Should pop in on a Wednesday. That's when I'm bowling.
Yeah, well, that's what I figure. I'm like, if
I'm usually there till about 10:30.
Because when I take a lot of shit to Hudson, it usually sends me upstate now, Barlow.
Now next week I'll be there probably till like midnight because we're doing what's called our turkey shoot, which is basically an across the house tournament.
Okay.
So we'll be there. We'll be there. So if you get a chance, pop in and have a drink with me.
Yeah, I mean that's the upside of doing what I do now versus Uber because I really don't run into a whole lot of people anymore.
Right.
So
yeah, I'll announce I'll put out the schedule for the show here as the weeks go on. But and Katie's joining us here at the table. Are you having issues? No. Yeah, well, you're gonna have an issue because that headphone's not gonna work into this microphone. No, I don't know where those are at. Just use this one. We'll give you a headset to use. We have extra headsets.
plenty, and I got one in here.
Yeah. Just plug in. She knows how to use it. I heard her.
Hi.
Hi, Kate.
Hello.
Kate's with us. Kate's with us for the bourbon show.
Yeah.
No bourbon for you.
No. If you'd have grown up in my household, though, once you're old enough to go to school, you had wine with dinner on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking a sip of wine.
No.
I'm talking a glass of wine.
Right.
And it's a shit. Do you remember Lambrusco?
Oh, yes.
It's like, It's like rot gut, like Wild Irish Rose rot gut.
Yeah, I
but
remember.
It's supposed to,
I remember that shit.
It makes the box wines look like Dom Perignon.
Yes.
And my folks used to buy Lambrusco by the case. That's what we drank with dinner. Because you could back then you had 3 varieties of wine: red, white, and rosé, and that was it.
Yeah.
There was no Cabernet. There was no Pinot. No nothing. There
None of
was
the crazy flavors they got out now.
It wasn't like the 20 varieties of wine that they sell now.
Yeah.
It's
That's just like
red,
beer.
white-
It's just like beer. You used to have like light beer,
regular,
and
because they never differentiated a pilsner versus a stout.
no,
or
it was
a
just beer.
beer. I mean, but you knew if
Oh,
it
they
was a
call 'em-
Budweiser, it was a lager.
Yeah.
Light was a pilsner.
Yep.
Ale was like Rolling Rock, which I can't believe people still drink Rolling Rock.
That's just I can't stand it. Stuff's disgusting. Can't do it. Can't do it. I cannot do it. Well, let's go ahead and take our
break one.
Break one. Should have been like break 3, but we'll take break 1.
Yeah.
All right. You're listening and watching some kind of radio show here on Back Alley Radio and Facebook Live. We'll be right back after these very important messages. Not that they're important, but they're important to us because we can stretch our legs for 5 minutes. We'll be right back.
What made Milwaukee change its mind? What made Milwaukee change its mind? Hello, I'm Rex Marshall. Yes, the big beer question these days is, what made Milwaukee change its mind about beer? Well, if you like Milwaukee beer, I guess everybody knows that that's America's best beer. I'm sure you'll be mighty interested in the answer. What made Milwaukee change its mind? Well, let's ask a man from Milwaukee. He ought to know.
Yes, I certainly do know, and I'll tell you all about it. You know, Milwaukee is where almost all the fine, world-famous beers are brewed. Over the years, more and more people, right here in Milwaukee, have come to realize that Blatz is the finest of all the fine beers. That's why today, in these modern times, Blatz is Milwaukee's favorite beer by far. Yes, no doubt about it. The flavor of Blatz is what made Milwaukee change its mind about beer. The Milwaukee Journal proves it in black and white. You see, every year this newspaper conducts a citywide survey on beer preferences and publishes the results. Now see for yourself how Blatz has been preferred by Milwaukee year after year after year. And take a look at this. Nowadays, Milwaukee prefers Blatz by an even greater margin.
Well, you know, winning an honor like that, year after year after year, in America's beer capital, is surely the greatest possible tribute to the flavor of any beer. Don't you agree? So the next time you order beer, remember, it's so easy to enjoy Milwaukee's favorite beer. Just be sure that you order Blatz, Milwaukee's favorite beer, Milwaukee's finest beer.
Some Kind of Radio Show will be back in a moment.
B barrels.
It must be aged in a brand new charred white oak barrel, just like what's behind me.
The lead character of a bourbon whiskey is the use of a new charred barrel. That gives bourbon that big, rich caramel vanilla note that just makes bourbon so special.
C is corn.
To be a bourbon, you have to use at least 51% corn. There's a very good reason for that. Corn imparts a very unique flavor to bourbon, and that's sweetness. If you taste a Scotch whiskey, an Irish whiskey, you get some sweetness, a lot of it from the wood, maybe a little bit from the grains. But if you taste bourbon, you can taste that sweetness. You can almost taste the corn.
D is distillation proof. So when you come off the still, you cannot be higher than 160 proof.
The higher the proof, the less flavor that's going to be there. Think about it, vodka is 190 proof, 192 proof when it comes off those stills. It has no flavor, it's just pure alcohol.
You start getting over 160, you're stripping out grain flavor. You're moving more into a vodka category. That's not what we want with bourbon. We want to hold on to the grain character. So one of the rules is you got to be 160 or less coming off the still. E, entry proof, going into the barrel, you have to be 125 proof or less. F, fill proof. In the bottle, your proof has to be 80 or above. G, genuine.
There are no additives allowed. So everything is what Mother Nature provides.
No flavor or no color or nothing can be added to bourbon. It's a natural product. If you add any color or any flavor, it becomes a whiskey. All that color must come from aging that new charred oak barrel.
You're only as good as what comes off the still and what comes out of that barrel and goes down that bottling line.
You are tuned into the Some Kind of Radio Show. Call now at 234-200-5110. Now, back to Earl McCune and the Crazy Crew.
All right, we're back on Some Kind of Radio Show. We're in the second quarter now. That's basically what I'm going to call it tonight. Second quarter of the show because we're doing a 2-hour show tonight. We're on to our second bourbon of the night. Good old Maker's Mark. That's an old standby here. You know, I mean, it's everyone
what
knows.
People think bourbon, aside from cheap Jimmy Beam. Because, I mean, when you think bourbon, when you think whiskey, you think Jack.
Mm-hmm.
When you think bourbon, you think Jim Beam.
Exactly.
For cheap, anyway.
Right. I mean, good old Maker's Mark.
Maker's Mark, so, higher end. Supposedly.
Allegedly, yeah. Again, this is one of those, I don't particularly enjoy this one straight. I mean, on the rocks, a little bit. I mean, I'll take a sip of it. Yeah.
I mean, it's better than the last
It's better. It's better. Way better. After drinking that actually tastes good now.
Yeah. I mean, now I see why my buddy Kurt used to always drink Maker's Mark and Sprite.
Yeah, I still got to mix it. Just how I am. I got to mix it. I'm putting pineapple juice in it.
Fruit in the bourbon.
Yeah, I just can't drink.
Yeah. What do you think with the pineapple juice? That helps it?
Yeah, it helps. Anything.
Now, see, I enjoy that. Now, see, that as a drink, I can drink that all day. I mean,
yeah. See, bourbon's one of those things. A, you have to have an acquired taste for it.
Oh, absolutely, you do.
B, it's the same way I know people that could drink brandy all day.
Right, I can't stand
and all
brandy.
Brandy is overly fermented wine.
Exactly, yeah.
They take a wine and
right,
like an apricot wine, something they wouldn't normally ferment in
Sure.
order to sell as wine.
Sure.
And let it ferment even further.
Mm-hmm.
Gets a much higher proof, and they sell it as brandy. Blackberry,
Yeah, I just don't.
I've had an apricot brandy that I could handle.
Yeah.
But just give me just a few sips of it in a snifter, and I can just sip on it a little bit. But never been a bourbon person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like, as far as whiskey goes, I don't like mixing Jack with anything.
Yeah.
I drink Jack either just the shots, and I don't even like sipping on Jack. Just let me have the shot, or if
That's good that way. I like it that way.
Oh yeah,
that's good.
Something mixed, but Scotch is one thing that I don't like mixed. That I don't.
No,
mix
I
at
don't.
all.
I got to drink. Yeah, I agree with you there.
It's like I'll drink. I'll give me a double on the rocks, and I can sip on it while I gamble. It's about the only time I really drink Scotch is when I go to the casino.
Right.
So,
again, like it's an acquired taste, like you said. You definitely hit the nail on the head with it because I mean, for me, it's not my go-to.
No.
By any stretch, any of this stuff. It's one of those I want to like it more, but it's not one of those things. Oh, I don't know if I can do this. It's just it's not for me. I mean, I'm a beer guy. I mean, I'm a beer guy, and I like my occasional little things of liquor.
Yeah.
I mean, but it just depends. I mean, I got to be
in the right mood.
And it's got to be the right. Like tonight, not bad. It's the only thing we're missing in here is a fire, and I'd be okay. But
a little nippy up there too.
Yeah, it's not too bad in here right now. It's actually quite comfortable, but it's 29 outside right now, according to the computer here.
It's about the same here.
I got the weather app on my computer here, and I can get live weather. It's 29 degrees here in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio.
It's about normal. I mean, don't feel bad if you live up in Lake Barrow, Alaska, or any further points north, right around the Arctic Circle.
Yeah.
The sun's going to set in like another week.
Right.
And then it's not going to rise again until January 12th.
Right.
You'll be in total darkness all that time.
Right.
Imagine as dark as it is outside right now.
Yeah, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it never gets light.
Right.
And then they go through the same amount of point of because that's about 2 months. Because they go through a couple months over, like right before summer starts into summer, to where 3 a.m. it's pure daylight. The sun never sets.
Right.
So,
exactly.
It's like I have a friend of mine who moved up to Alaska with her husband, and she's like, "Yeah, fuck this. She's like, it's already like -10 is our high."
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, it's just like -10, and if you're gonna live in places like that, or like where Airwolf Adam lives.
Oh yeah.
When he was up in the Dakotas, and you're up in northern Michigan,
Oh yeah,
Minnesota,
no doubt.
you got to get these things put on your car that'll heat your engine oil, or your car won't start.
Right.
Your engine oil will freeze in your car. So a lot of the places you go to, you either have it coming out of the hood, or it's built to come out of like the front grill of the car or something, and it plugs into your oil pan, and keeps your oil pan warm while your car's sitting. That way you can start your car again.
Right.
So if you're gonna park somewhere like long term, you gotta do that, because it's like your oil would just turn into pudding.
Right. Oh, indeed. It just
That's the time you need bourbon.
Yeah, exactly.
Something to keep you warm.
Exactly.
Well, why, if you're not an Eskimo, why the hell do you want to live in Alaska?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Oil and gas, about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But anyway, that was not the clip that we had during the break on the Blantons, was it? I didn't hear any Blantons in there.
No, that's the next one. That's the next
Okay.
one. That's the next one.
We got a little story about the Blantons when we get to that.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
But I also have a little other bourbon here too.
Oh, yeah. What do you
now,
got?
A lot of you might recognize this bottle.
Oh yeah, the Woodford.
Woodford Reserve. This is more common.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the special Kentucky Derby edition.
Okay.
Ah.
Bourbon that's native to Kentucky.
It is. So it's just a special bottle. There's nothing special about the bourbon in it.
Right.
But it's just a special bottle that they do for the Kentucky Derby every year.
Sure.
Make you a mint julep.
Sure, absolutely. In fact, have you ever had a mint julep?
Yeah, once or twice.
And Kate's going this way.
And what kind of bourbon did they use?
Not sure. Probably stuff that from a bottle that just said bourbon on it. Bottom shit, like well bourbon.
Rail, yeah.
Well, like bottom of the barrel, the cheap stuff.
Right.
Did you say whale bourbon?
Well.
Try some mint juleps with the Woodford.
Yeah, I have to ask and see if they offer it, because it's funny, because it's like I'll be at a bar looking to see what I want, and I kind of try to look and check out and see what what they offer.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the first time I went to Mountaineer, and I actually wanted something booze wise, and I look and I saw that they had Chivas, because a lot of places when they serve Scotch, everything is Johnny, it's Cutty Shark, Glenlivets, Dewar's, and very few places I've noticed will serve Chivas.
Mm-hmm.
And I happen to look up there as far as like whiskey goes. They only have Jack. They don't have any of the varieties. I only saw that they had Crown. They didn't have like apple. They didn't have peach. They didn't have nothing like that. But as far as flavor varieties go,
right?
A lot of the flavored shit I didn't see. They had a lot of plain vodka, but not a lot of flavored vodka.
Nothing flavored.
Not like you're gonna get like a Stoli strawberry or something.
Right.
So.
That or like the Pinnacles or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, because it's like, you'd hear vodka experts, the Pinnacle flavors are wonderful, The Pinnacle plain is shit. The same way, I mean, like if you want a good flavored vodka, get a Stoli or get an Absolute. Stoli regular is okay. Absolute plain is great. If you got to have an unflavored vodka or something like that, and you want something that's easily accessible, because I mean, I go to stores, I don't see Finlandia, I don't see Belvedere, or a lot of these other, 3 olives on occasion you might see, and Sky's bottle because it's that dark blue bottle.
Right. Exactly.
It's it's easy to identify.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was like, I want to try to find that Voli, that Pitbull vodka.
Yeah.
I'd at least just like to try a bottle of. I'd buy a bottle of the flavored stuff to see if I like it.
Sure.
I mean, and it's cheap. The site I had, you could get a fifth for like $11. I'd part ways with $11. Even if I didn't like the stuff, I drink it.
Right.
I mean, it's like the pear. I like pears.
Yeah.
I like the Absolute pear that I bought, but it's a matter of coming up with bringing stuff in to pair it with.
Oh, totally understand that.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. I totally get it.
Yeah.
Totally get it.
So
we are getting messages here.
Okay.
Jason was nice enough to send us a couple messages, and
Okay.
he was asking if we were planning on doing remotes, and I said no, we are not planning on doing remotes at this time.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if he's listening to the show.
Yeah.
No, here would be tell him we're gonna do a remote from Chapel Hill. Watch him try to take a bus up there. He would too.
Yeah. No plans of remote at this time. We're just staying pretty much confined to the studio for now, and we don't really have the remote equipment anymore either. So there's a difference. Yeah, we had SKO, we had a remote equipment. We don't have that remote equipment anymore. So
yeah, it's like if we did, I wonder how this year, because I didn't get a chance to go to Comic-Con.
Yeah,
Sergeant Slaughter was up there.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's who they had this year was. And, he darkened all his hair and his mustache again.
Right.
Tried to make himself look youthful.
Yeah, it don't work too well.
Nah. Because I remember...
It's like me trying to grow my hair out to look youthful. It doesn't work.
What was it? What was it? You and Tadpole had went up to the Comic-Con you guys said?
Oh, we were at a Ham Radio Fest.
Yeah, okay. Because I remember I went to one of the Comic-Cons a couple years ago when Superhost was there.
Okay.
Marty Sullivan.
Yep.
Because I'm real good friends with his nephew, Pat.
Mm-hmm.
Because Pat used to do head up security for Bob at Rockin' when it was in
Okay.
Falls.
All right.
Because Pat's retired deputy sheriff.
Right. Okay.
And I remember walking up and meeting him, and you could tell Superhost, good old Soup, was looking rough.
Yeah. Oh,
he passed away like a week after he was at Comic-Con.
His last few appearances, he looked bad. You know?
Yeah. I wasn't gonna pay to get an autograph or a picture with him or nothing, just because he looked kind of rough.
Yeah.
He didn't look like the Superhost we were used to.
No, he was losing. He lost his hair, and he looked very frail at the end.
Yeah, it was
his last 4, 5, 6 years. He looked really, really bad.
But I just remember watching him, and I'm like, hey, I told him, I'm real good friends with your nephew Pat, the retired sheriff, and he's like, oh, he was like, tell that fucker. He owes me money. He was just trying to be funny, and I'm like, I was just like, hey, I just wanted to say I got to meet you. I used to watch you growing up. Superhost.
Yep, I remember watching that.
Mild-mannered reporter Marty Sullivan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was one of those little local things up here. It's like it's like because Big Chuck and Houlihan.
Yeah, kind of like Big Chuck and Little John, Son of Ghoul.
Yeah, I met the son of Ghoul.
So I was on his show once when he was as a kid. I won a costume contest when he was still on 67 down in Canton, OAC. They had a hayride at Bear Creek.
Okay.
And I dressed up like him, so of course I got picked to go on the show.
Yeah.
And I went on there for a skit. That was neat. And then they let me sit around and watch about an hour's worth of production afterwards. That was so much fun.
Yeah, it's that goofy look. Then he did retro TV for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I remember meeting him. We were up the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I think in like 99 or 2000.
Mm-hmm.
We were at a party up there that they threw for Ameritech AT&T threw for some of the cell phone stores. And so we got to go up there for a party when they were launching digital cellular.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was up there filming like some ads for retro TV.
Mm-hmm.
And right after they'd gotten done filming, you walk out and I'm like, hey, Son of Ghoul, Then he took off all his makeup because
Yeah.
he was all done filming and everything, and he came down and had a couple drinks with us. He's a, really down to earth guy.
He's a pretty good guy. Yeah, I got to talk to him, quite a bit.
Yeah.
And he was a lot of fun. He was very gracious, very warm. Just a nice guy. Genuinely nice guy.
See, I always wanted, I remember watching times in the morning. We'd watch on WGN. We'd watch Bozo the Clown.
Oh yeah.
And I always wanted to go on that show and play some of the games because the game where you have to toss the ping pong ball in the bucket.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And then
absolutely.
The further down you could get, the better a prize you got.
Yes.
It's like you toss it in one, then you got to toss another one in two, and blah blah blah. It's like as long as it's like I always wanted to be on there, and I'm just like, now we got Bozo the Clown in the White House, but
right.
So
you're giving him credit, Tony.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, hey, I hate to get political, John, but today technically, Kamala became our president today because Joe had to have his colonoscopy, so he had to pass power on to her temporarily. I was like, hey, maybe with his colonoscopy, he'll find his head up there. Or maybe
I was going to say, be careful with the colonoscopy because Kamala may find something else to go suck on.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe old Joe will find his head up there, or maybe Barack.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Kamala's our president for 20
You might have found Kamala up there too.
Jeez.
Yeah, I tell you what, I've never seen in all seriousness, I've never seen things so awful. The quality of the people is running our government is just wow.
Oh, it's horrible.
Seriously, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, look on Facebook after that whole Rittenhour verdict. Everybody's either like,
I'm sure it's been blowing up. I haven't even.
It's such a mixed bag, and there's so many people making it political. It's not even funny.
Well, yeah, because some people didn't watch the trial; they just believed what was on the news.
Right.
And the media is going to make this kid look like a cold-blooded killer, and that's how they were trying to try him.
Did you see the video? The kid was getting his head kicked in.
Yeah.
He was getting kicked. He was getting punched.
Well, he should have been a blah blah blah, and it's just, and I have people that are like, well, if you don't think he's a cold-blooded killer, then unfriend me. And I'm like, I have a difference of opinion. That's why I always kept my political opinions off Facebook.
Absolutely.
Right.
I used when the whole mask situation and everything started kicking. I'll tell you what, I got into it with so many people. I just didn't care because I had nothing better to do.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't working, obviously. I was off because of the shutdown. I think I had probably 15 or 20 people unfriend me, which I don't give a shit. And I said, look, and I was like, some of these people have been my good friends. It's like, look, we don't have to agree. Can we just agree to disagree? You know what? I'm not calling anybody names. I wasn't calling anybody anything. I said, here's my belief. If you don't like it, fine. And then it was getting to a point where I was having full-on arguments on the page. I'm like, you know what, guys, enough. You want to argue them bigger? Go do it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Not on my Facebook page. I said, here's my opinion.
It's a 7-letter word, guys.
Yeah.
7-letter word. RESPECT.
Amen.
Find out what it means to me.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you got to do that with everybody.
Yeah. And as
no matter what view, no matter what they are, where they came from or anything.
I said,
do that.
Here's my opinion. Whether you believe it or not, whatever you disagree, agree, I don't care. I said, but this is my opinion. And if you don't like it, oh, well, let it go. I says, does it change who I am as a person because I have opinion this way? I says, my whole opinion was, okay, at the time, I still believe the masks were a freaking waste. I mean, here we are now. I mean, almost, we're a year and a half into this pandemic. We're
year
not
and three quarters.
A year and 3/4. We're not any closer to getting out of it than we were before.
But and
we're not going to.
Well, no, and a lot of it is, the WHO and the CDC now are even kind of like, well, we're having spurts, and how Florida was a really bad state for cases.
Sure.
Now it's become really low.
Yeah.
And they have you have to wear a mask or
it's
the other.
It's up and down, and a lot. You get your surges, and it goes up and down.
And even the CDC's like, we're a few months away from just declaring an end to the pandemic and calling it an epidemic,
Mm-hmm.
and to where we're just not going to mandate things now. We know it's not going to go away. We know variants are going to be around forever. Just like the flu.
It's not going away. I mean, we just got to learn to live with it now.
Yeah.
I mean, you learn to get your vaccines. I mean, a lot of people are dead set against it. If you don't want to get it, that's on you.
Yep.
I got mine. I was against it wholeheartedly at the beginning. Now, I mean, I never hear all these things. Oh, it's going to do this. It's going to do this to you. I was like, I got mine. I never had any ill effects from it. I had a headache from the first one for about 8 hours. Second one didn't phase me. I know you got the J&J.
I got the one shotter, and I was run down that next day.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm like, well, you know what? No, it was no worse for me than getting the flu shot. I get the flu shot every year, and I know I've talked to people say, I don't even get the flu shot. It's this. I'm like, I'm telling you what. I've had the flu. I've had the bad flu. I've had the flu that's turned into almost pneumonia and hospitalized me 4 or 5 years ago. I missed the flu shot that year because I'm like, I just didn't get it done. I didn't have time. I was working too much. So this year, I mean, like the last few years, ever since then, I go get it religiously because if I don't get it, I know what can happen to me, and I'm asthmatic, so I just want that little bit of protection. I'd rather have it than not have it. So I got the only reason I thought about for the vaccine is like, okay, is it proven? No. Is it new? Yeah. Okay. But I was going to go ahead and get it done just because. If anything's going to happen to me, it's going to happen to me. But I'd rather take a chance and try to make it not happen to me than
And the reason I got mine is I got tired of wearing those damn masks.
Same here.
Every place I would walk into, if you're vaccinated, you don't need to wear a mask. If you're not vaccinated, wear a mask.
Well, here's the thing. Now you're running into places now, even if you're vaccinated, we want you to wear a mask. Well, then I'm not coming in your store. I got my vaccine. Why am I going to wear my mask in there?
My favorite gas station to go buy my lottery tickets at. It's like I walk in there and it says, hey, nice mask. We're requiring masks right now, even if you're vaccinated. Nobody in there is wearing one.
No.
I saw a state trooper didn't even have one on.
No.
Yeah, if they're not going to yell at him, they ain't saying shit to me.
Sheets?
Yeah.
Yeah. I go to the one down here all the time.
Yeah.
I never wear mine in there.
I only wear mine 1 or 2 places. I go into a Chinese restaurant, pick up food.
Yeah.
When I deliver, and it says no mask, no service, which is fine. It's only for a minute, so I can handle that.
Mm-hmm.
Every place else, I mean, I see people wearing them, and I'm like, I got vaccinated. I ain't wearing them.
The only time I wear it if I go to the doctor. I mean,
Yeah.
that's when you're required to wear it anyway. And I go to the doctor's. Like today, I took my aunt to the foot doctor at Lori's office.
Yeah.
Got to wear a mask. Okay, so I have a mask. I put it on. I wore it for a few minutes in there and took it off. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, short term. I mean, but I'm just like.
I mean, I was wearing it 8-9 hours a day when I was working at the bowling center last year. I got tired of that real quick.
Yeah. Well, when I had to wear mine long term, I cut a little slit in mine so I could breathe.
You didn't see the slit?
No. Just made it so I could actually breathe through the thing.
Right.
Because it's tough. I mean, it's to breathe through.
Oh, it's brutal. It's even worse. Like go on the airplane. Like Lori and I went on our honeymoon, last year. 2 flights. The first flight was an hour and a half. The second one was 48 minutes. But still, then you're in the airport the whole time having to wear it. And it's like, oh my God! The only place you can get a breather is go to the bathroom. No one sees you. You're in your pretend like you gotta sit down, take a shit, take the thing off for 5 minutes, and then get a breather and go back.
Talk. I got to do a courtesy flush next to you.
Yeah.
But no, and then it's like, now, hey John, next time you go to a bar, here's what I want you to order.
All right.
Tell them you want a Rittenhouse.
Okay.
That's a chaser followed by 3 shots.
Gotcha. I will.
You get
I
it?
will order that. And see the girls will see what they look at me funny.
Yeah, you understand it, obviously.
Yes.
Jeez.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
that, like I said, that whole thing, Jiminy Christmas.
I know. Like I said, I've been reading comments all day on it, and I didn't watch the whole trial, but I've seen enough to go, okay, the kid was defending himself.
Yeah.
Did he kill 2 people? Yes. He's not denying that. He never denied that.
No. And
but he said, I did it in self-defense. I didn't do it in cold blood.
And all the proof was there. Now, if they would have tried him for, like, murder 3,
yeah,
then maybe, okay, they could have had a case.
Right.
Maybe, but they were trying it for premeditated.
They were going after the whole 9 yards.
They were going for the gusto.
Yeah.
And
they were trying to get a conviction,
and they kicked NBC out of the courtroom because
MSNBC.
Because one of their freelancers got caught following the bus of jurors.
Yep.
So, and with all the crap that the media's done, if I was Kyle and his parents, I'd sue the crap out of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I mean, that almost declared a mistrial because they had to replace a juror.
Yep.
Because he made a joke about the guy that got killed that started the whole riot in the first place.
Yep.
So, it's like, geez, that was in good taste, you know. And plus, they tried to declare a mistrial anyway because the way that did you hear the things with the judge getting on the prosecutor?
Yeah.
He laid into that prosecutor many a times during that thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just,
It's like, you can't do that. You can't say that. You can't do that. I'm like, and this is a judge going after saying, no, you can't. No, absolutely not. I mean, just the way the judge was, you could tell the judge was the judge had no thinking in the deciding factor of the case, but you could tell the judge was leaning in favor of the kid.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd have rather it end in mistrial.
Yeah.
Because then you wouldn't have all these people bitching over one another.
Well, then it'd be going. He would go back to trial again.
No,
so.
no. He couldn't be tried again.
Really, in a mistrial?
Yeah. On a mistrial, nope, can't. Because he can't.
Yeah, that's the law. That's federal law. You can't do that.
Yeah. Double jeopardy.
Yeah. Right.
It's part of the Fifth Amendment.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Like you plead the Fifth because you don't want to incriminate yourself.
Right.
The Fifth Amendment also allows for
Right.
No double jeopardy.
Well, and the same thing now. It got dismissed with prejudice, which means they can't go after him again anyway.
Yeah.
It's over.
Over at the story.
The only thing I can see that now is a family might produce a civil case. I mean, I can see that.
Deservedly so.
Which they would, But I can tell you that's probably what's going to be the next thing for this kid is he's going to have some civil lawsuits against him now for, wrongful death and all that, and then, go after him for a bunch of money that he don't have. So.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's... Oh, you're talking them going after Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to...
I think the families will do it.
They'll try.
Yeah. Because I know the one girlfriend, I guess she walked out of the courthouse when the verdict was written. She was the girlfriend of one of the guys that got killed.
Yeah.
I heard she walked out pissed off. But, which, I mean, I would understand, and that's... But at the same time, you watch the video.
Yeah.
These guys were going after this kid. They could have killed this kid.
Yeah.
It was shoot or be it was either shoot or be killed. I mean, this kid.
Right. And what's sad, guys, is honestly, let's hope that our world isn't coming to that.
Yeah.
Thing is, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I always told everybody, I said, look, if I'm gonna go buy a gun to defend myself walking down a city street, this is the United States, I know.
Right.
It's something totally different.
Oh yeah. Well, this whole country's just the whole world's gone crazy. I mean, we were saying about that. Well, the night last year when the George Floyd riots, John, when we were on till 5 o'clock in the morning.
No kidding, yeah.
I mean, we were watching the coverage. We were doing a live impromptu show because we had nothing better to do. At 5 o'clock in the morning.
We were up to what? Dark 30 that day.
It was a very early morning, but we had it on. We had the live coverage on. I played the feed.
Yep.
We took probably 10 or 12 phone calls from people we never would ever tune into us.
Total strangers.
Total strangers.
But nobody else was on live talking about it, so you guys were it.
Yeah, we were it, and we were taking people's frustrations. They were, and this is from all over the country. I mean, and people are like, "Holy shit, they're talking about this." I mean, we were just getting tag after tag after tag after tag. I mean, people were just going crazy.
Right. Yeah.
And they were. I mean, it's like, wow, they're with us. And it was crazy. It was absolutely a crazy night. But it is 9 o'clock. Let's go ahead and take a break, and we'll do that right now here, and come back with another clip from Neat, Some Kind of Radio Show, here live on backalleyradio.com. One more hour to go. We'll be right back, everybody.
there's one sure way to beat that tired, thirsty feeling that naturally follows a hard day's work. Just stop in at your friendly Stag Tavern. Look for the sign of quality, Stag Beer on Draft, and order a cold, thirst-quenching glass of famous Stag Beer. There's nothing else quite as refreshing, as satisfying, and as downright good tasting, because Stag's flavor is the result of over a century of brewing experience. Notice Stag's rich, creamy head. Taste its can't-be-copied, smooth, dry flavor. It's America's first dry beer. Extra brew to give you that extra beer-drinking pleasure. Enjoy a cold, golden glassful of Stag Beer on Draft today at your friendly Stag Tavern.
This is the land of sky blue waters, land of cool enchantment. Listen.
From the land of sky blue waters, from the land of pines, lofty balsams, comes a beer refreshing, comes a beer refreshing.
Hams. Yes, from the land of sky blue waters to you comes Hams, the beer refreshing as the crisp, cool land it's brewed in. The beer that captures for you the wonderful refreshment of this enchanted Northland. Hams. Hams. Crisp, clean cut to the taste. Refreshing.
Hints of lakes and sunset breezes, dance and sparkle in each glassful. Hams a beer refreshing, hams a beer refreshing, hams.
Refreshingly yours from the land of sky blue waters.
The Some Kind of Radio Show will be back in a moment.
In the mid-1980s, bourbon was at its lowest. Nobody wants bourbon. There was a group of guys in the bourbon industry, and they were looking for a way to revive bourbon. And it all started with a guy named Elmer T. Lee. Elmer T. Lee was the master distiller at Ancient Age.
My grandfather was here for 52 years. He and Colonel Blanton met on the riverbank behind this distillery as kids. Colonel Blanton started to work at this distillery at the age of 16. And by the time he was 35, he was the president of this distillery. During that period of time, my grandfather and Colonel Blanton had remained friends, and when Colonel Blanton started to run the distillery, he invited my grandfather to come in and work the warehouses. Because of his working in these old warehouses, Granddad discovered there were certain areas of these warehouses that had aging characteristics that produced exceptionally sweet, smooth-tasting barrels of bourbon. The honey barrel. Colonel Blanton would use those barrels of bourbon to sway political favors with the government. So Granddad was here for like 52 years with Colonel Blanton. Along comes my dad. My dad and Elmer were in the military at the same time. They became friends, and Elmer was looking for something to jumpstart the industry. Dad had learned from my grandfather where these old honey barrels were in the warehouses, and Elmer had Dad go in and pull some of those barrels. That became the taste profile of Blanton's as we know it today.
Up until this point, all bourbon was batched together. So you were seeing 100, 200 barrels mingled together to create a consistent profile. Elmer T. Lee had this idea of taking a single barrel, a honey barrel, something that was very special, had a unique profile, and showcasing just that, bottling it one at a time. In 1984, he comes out with a product that's more expensive than any other bourbon on the market, Blanton's Single Barrel Bourbon. And that's really the shot that's heard around the world.
Jim Beam decided, we need to do something. But Booker didn't like single barrel because it was inconsistent. If you're doing a true single barrel, it's going to be inconsistent because it's hard to get two barrels that taste exactly alike. The way you get consistency is by mixing the barrels. So he came up with this idea of small batch.
If you make it an exclusive product, such as a small batch, or a single barrel, you're creating a category that's not ordinary. you create something that will be sought after.
We've got Elmer T. Lee and Booker No working on their single barrel and small batch products. And then we see Bill Samuels of Maker's Mark and Jimmy Russell of Wild Turkey that were getting out and spreading the word. They were going to bars. They were going into, the retail shops and the restaurants and talking to people. They were sharing the stories of bourbon and their family history and making people fall in love with it.
It was a slow process, but eventually other distilleries decided they'd do a small batch or a single barrel or a special bottling, and the product just started its rise.
So we started getting aficionados and old bourbon drinkers returning, all about flavor. But then we see that leap from the old guard into the new consumer, and that it happens with the bartenders.
People started, playing around with how they make an old fashioned. They weren't just pulling out the old bartender's Bible and making that exact recipe. They were mixing it up a little bit, and I think it was very well received. And so when you start playing with some of these classic cocktail recipes, kind of opens the door to do different things.
When I started bartending, clear spirits, dominated the back bar. Vodkas, gins, more vodkas, and a couple more vodkas. That has changed a lot over the years. Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey is where it's at. It's where the excitement is.
You are tuned into the Some Kind of Radio Show. Call now at 234-200-5110. Now, back to Earl McCune and the Crazy Crew.
All right, we're back on Some Kind of Radio Show final hour. John's not back with us, so I'll just switch this back to single view so we're not looking at his living room.
Yeah.
We'll come back to John when he gets back. Some Kind of Radio Show live on backalleyradio.com, as well as live on Facebook, live on our Some Kind of Radio Show and Back Alley Radio Facebook pages. And tonight will be replayed on our YouTube channel. It was asked to me, why don't we do live YouTube as well as Facebook Live? Well, here's the problem. This program, the software, I can't do multiple
lives.
I can't send it to here.
Just here.
Just here, and then I can take it and go there. We tried doing, when we brought the show back, when we came back last year as a podcast, we did YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we actually, our viewership, because we only had viewership at that point. We didn't have internet radio listeners.
Nope.
We didn't have our Facebook following. We were getting dick for watchers live. So we actually get more interaction from our Facebook group for our Facebook watchers versus our John's back with us, back on Double Feature. And it's just for us to do it on there, we just don't. Now we're getting some more subscribers. I mean, we've finally conquered the 300 subscriber mark.
Yeah.
Which it's amazing all the years this show's been around. Which brings me to my next point. 2022, John, will mark our 10th year.
Yep.
Oh, that's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? 10th year of Some Kind of Radio Show. 2022.
Yeah, I remember when you approached me and says, "Hey, want to be on this thing?" And I'm like, "Sure, why the hell not?"
Yeah. 10 years we've been doing this program. Tony, you've been with us, what, 7, 6?
6, I think.
6, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be 6 next year.
6 years next year.
Yeah, because it was October. It was like October 15th.
15. Yeah, when you joined us. Yep.
Yeah, mid-October.
So 6 years you've been with the show. John's with me for all 10.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to get technical, the end of 2022 will be 10 years.
Yeah.
But once we hit 2022, we're going to celebrate our 10th year anniversary.
The entire year.
The whole year. We're going to.
Price is Right's doing the same thing. They're in their 50th season.
Right.
And they're celebrating it all year.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're going to do all year in 2022 is we're going to celebrate 10 years of Some Kind of Radio Show. And I have some ideas in the works. I'm looking at potentially, there's no guarantee on this yet, giving us a new logo for it. I may leave it alone, or I might see if there's someone that can like do something with the logo and add a 10 year celebrating 10 years to it to make it look like it's fluid, you know.
I was digging through some of my stuff and I found the hats that we had that said SKO Radio Show.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, it was funny how the SKO turned into SKO Radio Network.
Yeah,
and then now we're doing Back Alley Radio because we want. Like when we were talking about going back to internet radio, and John will vouch for this. We had a lot of talk. Do we just want to bring SKO back? No, and it was kind of the immediate thought because if the minute we did that, we would get all the old shows wanting to come back to us, and we already had that happen when we announced Back Alley. Oh, hey, I'll take my spot back. We're not offering spots to anybody, guys.
No.
Only thing we're offering is if you want to run a podcast, we'll be more than happy to run it for you if you send us a recording. No live shows. I mean, the only reason we're not doing it that way is because, we're not in a public location. This is a private location. And I don't want everybody in the world here.
It'd be like Batman telling everybody where the Batcave was.
Exactly. This is an exclusive secret location that only a handful of people know about.
Yep.
And we don't want the world to know where this place is. It's like it's like the Batcave, right, John? It's like the Batcave.
Exactly right.
And I had to tell my dingy ex-wife. She put a picture of her holiday decorations up.
Mm-hmm.
What does she have? Her house number right here.
Oh my God!
And I'm like, you got to cover that up.
All right.
She's like, well, how do you know where I am? I'm like, you can go into the city. People know what city you live in.
Right.
Type in your house. Type in your house number.
Right.
And in Google,
it's going to give you a whole list of
it's going to give you a list of your house number, what different roads are,
and then all you got to do is Google Maps it, and then you're going to compare houses.
Yeah, then you're going to look because it's got a picture of everybody's house.
Right.
So, and she was like, "Oh, I forgot about that."
Yeah.
Or people that check in on Facebook from home.
Yeah.
I'm like, Facebook will pinpoint where you live.
Yeah. Like I'll check in from Back Alley Radio. I mean, I got an approximate location on here. I don't have an exact.
Yeah.
I put an approximate on here.
Yeah.
In Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. That's all we'll say. But we, here's the thing. I live upstairs, so it's like, this studio. And by the way, John, since you were here last, the studio has been augmented. And Tony, you can tell.
Yeah.
It's definitely changed in here.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely a lot more homey in here, and it's going to get more. And we're adding to it as we go. I mean, it's going to be eventually a nice little full-on nook here that's going to be here for a long time. So it's
which it is.
Well,
I mean,
when I come up in December, I hope to see the improvements.
Oh, you'll definitely see the improvements when you come.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's I've taken pictures, but the pictures don't do it justice. It's. And I remember I look back. It's funny, Tony. I was watching some of the old restart shows.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God, we used to think that was cool looking. Because I mean, it was like we had white walls in here, gray floors, 4 or 5 things on the wall. Then we had that little strobe thingy going, and it's like, boy. Then you look at it now, it's like, wow.
What's like one of my favorite searches on eBay is I've been trying to look for old bar neon signs because you can find them fairly cheap on eBay.
Right.
Bar closes. I mean, I was really surprised that I was trying to look around when we went to that place down in Cincy.
Yeah.
I was trying to look to see if there was anything there that hell I could have offered the guy some cash for.
Right.
Because there's old bar signs for beer that don't exist.
Exactly.
I'll walk into some of these dumpy bars. They still got signs up for Bud Dry.
Yeah.
How long has it been since Bud Dry?
Bud Dry's been around in years, I was actually looking at the idea of getting a custom Back Alley Radio neon. I can get it for like $150.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I look at how this shows up, and I got that on the lowest setting possible.
Yeah.
And you look how bright it is on the camera. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, if I turn it up, now if I turn that thing up, you can't read it.
No.
That's on the lowest setting as it is now.
Yeah.
But if I was like, I'd like to get that, but at the same time, no, because it won't show up for shit. So we got the Back Alley sign all lit up, in blue. So, like I said, you look at everything on camera, it's actually much brighter on camera than it actually is in here. So it's still, I mean, it's a lot
Oh,
brighter.
yeah.
It's brighter than it was. I remember
Yeah.
I looked at like the first couple shows back. We did that Jeopardy show. Boy, it was dark in here. Yeah, it was very dark in here. But now it's like, oh, hey, it's actually enough light you can actually see and you can read. Because that's one thing, like Mike and I always talking about. God, you can't read nothing in here. Well, now you can.
Yeah.
Enough light in here now you can actually read. So it's because we got light off
camera.
Off camera, there's plenty of light off camera now. So with the lounge area, we got 2 lamps in there, and it's all lit up over there. So it's nice and bright.
Oh yeah, I mean it's.
I love the break, boys. I was talking about the Blantons.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you enjoy the break? Good history
Yes,
there.
Yeah, I did enjoy the break. I enjoyed the story. I remember hearing the story of Elmer T. Lee and the Colonel getting together and doing the single barrel bourbon.
Yes.
Which they still do to this day.
Yes.
And in fact, if you try to buy a bottle of this,
Yes.
if you go to Kentucky and buy a bottle of it, you're looking at $60 to $70. Okay?
I believe it. Yep.
That's if you can get it retail.
Right.
Because it's such a small batch bourbon,
Mm-hmm.
it is so hard to get that people will pay $200 or $300 for a bottle.
Right.
But I will tell you this, guys, and I'm not going to lie to you. This is the last of my bottle.
Yes. And you're enjoying
It's
it.
lasted me 6 years.
And you're enjoying it tonight.
Absolutely sipping on it because Blanton's is not a shot bourbon. It is a sipping bourbon.
Yes.
Now, I drink it neat.
Yep.
However, you can have it on the rocks.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you this, guys. One of the best things I ever did one day is I took some Blanton's, had a friend of mine,
Okay.
and they had in this restaurant at here in Morgantown. They have a smoker.
Okay.
Take a 2-ounce or 3-ounce glass of bourbon.
Throw it in a
Put
smoker.
it in that smoker for like 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah. You get that nice smoky
Especially
flavor.
Blanton's, let it come out of there.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
It's on a whole nother level, huh?
Orgasmic.
Whole nother level.
Absolutely orgasmic.
No kidding.
It takes the bourbon to a different level because you get all of the different flavors in the bourbon to come out.
Nice.
I mean, as you heard during the break, Blanton's is made out of honey barrels.
Yes.
Honey is very prevalent where the distillery is.
Right.
But you can taste the honey in this if you drink it just straight up.
Right.
But if you smoke it, it even comes out even more.
No kidding.
Oh my goodness, yes. But I'll tell everybody this right now. If you ever get a chance to try Blanton's, try it.
Okay.
You'll never go back to anything less than that. Even and this includes Jim Beam.
Yes.
This includes Johnny
Mm-hmm.
Red. Now Johnny Blue's a little different flavor, but if you anything that's lower than this, Blanton's compares to a Johnny Blue. Compares to a there's a Four Roses special edition they have.
Okay.
It's really, really good. But this Blanton's this one of the best bourbons I've ever had. I'll tell you that flat out.
No kidding. I believe
Flat
it.
out.
I believe it. Your word's gospel, John. I believe you 100%.
Well, I do hold confessions in the shit. But I will tell anybody this. You ever get a chance to try Blanton's, just try it. You may not like it because of the taste of it.
Yeah.
It's a little bit, like I said, it's got a little bit of honey.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of bitterness, smokiness to it. And if you don't like that taste, you're not going to like it. But if you do kind of like the little bit of a bitter, a little bit of a bourbon with a zing, so to say,
Okay.
try this. You're not going to go wrong.
Okay.
You're not going to go wrong. In fact, when I come up for the Christmas party, I may just bring.
Ooh. That could,
may just bring some we can have.
we might have to do a 4-hour show that night just because of all the stuff happening that night.
Well, we know we have Tony and Frosty the Pervert. That's required reading.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It is.
I God knows what other Christmas songs we do or don't do.
Yeah. Plus, like, in fact, we're going to be playing all the parody stuff too, so it's going to be a zoo.
Yeah,
And
of
that'll
course we
be
should involve
that'll
the
be a
ladies.
show that we will not. Here's the thing, because we're doing the music, we're gonna have to do it as a YouTube video live as opposed to Facebook live, because Facebook gets really anal about music in a video. So
Yep.
Well, right, copyrights and
yeah,
everything. Yes.
but Facebook we can get away with it. Facebook we can get, or not Facebook, YouTube we can get away with it. So we'll do a live YouTube movie feed that night instead of a Facebook
Right.
feed.
And we all should involve the ladies so they don't feel left out.
Yes, of course.
You know, they can do Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or whatever they like to do. you
Yep.
know.
Now we'll let everyone do whatever they want to do that night. We'll just we'll play it and let them have fun.
Exactly. That's what it's all about here. Honestly, that's what it's all about here anyways, is just having fun. We do this for fun.
Yep.
We don't try to make money off of this. We do this as a hobby. We
Yep.
all have real jobs that we do.
Right.
But for a lot of us, it's a release.
Yep.
Let me tell you, boys, after the week I've had, and you guys know why.
Oh yeah.
After what I told you earlier. I mean,
Yep.
you gotta have a release sometimes, and you know what? Sometimes there is alcohol involved.
Sometimes.
A lot
Well,
of
with
days.
you guys, it's always, but with me, sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, Tony, I just figured out who you remind me of now. Mick Foley.
Oh yeah.
He's got the two front teeth out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just Mick Foley.
Hey, just make sure you don't pull out Socko. We're good.
No, I had him the night I was out for Halloween. And let me tell you something. When I went out for Halloween the night of my birthday on the 30th, I sweat my ass off so bad in that mask.
I can imagine.
I mean, it was the front of it.
Oh, I
square,
bet. I bet your face just felt like.
But the beard went well with the mask.
Yeah.
You know, all scraggly and everything, and it
Yeah.
already had the hair on it.
All right.
And I was just, you know, I mean, but it went well. But like when I went out Sunday, I didn't rewear that costume. Well, let me tell you.
Yeah.
I sweat my ass off wearing it. I went out as Joey at Jake Blues, just an all black suit, white shirt, black tie, and I have a fedora. And then I don't have a pair of Ray-Bans like he wore.
Right.
So I wore a pair of my of the ones they give you at the 3D movies.
Right.
They look close enough to Ray-Bans. And that's who I went out as that Sunday, and that's all I sang at karaoke that night.
Right.
It was all Blues Brothers stuff.
Oh, there you go.
Everybody needs somebody in Sweet Home Chicago and all
Oh
that.
yeah. I bet.
Oh yeah.
And although I had to yell at my karaoke jock because she's got stuff that's listed in her book as TV themes, but they're like the 30-second to a minute theme. They're not the full song.
No.
When I punch them up on Spotify to listen
you
to them,
get the whole thing.
You get the whole song. Like I like the theme, "The Moonlighting" by Al Jarreau. I sang that, and it was like 45
Ooh,
seconds.
Great song.
And I'm like, you know, because I grew up watching Moonlighting, and my mom grew up. She was a huge Al Jarreau fan.
Right.
It's the same, you know. We all grew up with Kenny G, you know, as far as playing saxophone, but I also learned to like David Sanborn.
All right, we are on to our final bourbon of the night in the studio here. This is the Freedom Whiskey, 90 proof, 45% alcohol, small batch, straight Kentucky bourbon whiskey. And,
All righty.
Let's give it a
You'll
shot.
enjoy that, boys.
Oh yeah, we definitely enjoy this one. Cheers. I like that one. That's good.
Much better than the last two.
Yeah, that's why I told you. I think I rated them right. I think I rated them worst to best.
So that's why I wanted to try that Cleveland one first, because you said it was god awful.
Yeah.
I didn't want that aftertaste left in my mouth the entire night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then we'll go to Makers. I've had Makers before.
Yeah.
Once or twice.
I still mix this, so I mean, I can't do this. I still can't do the.
I mean, I'll use.
I have a trouble with. See, I can do it, but I want to get it down.
Yes. Problem is, Earl, you're a beer guy and you're not a liquor guy.
No, I'm not a liquor guy. That's the
so
thing.
when it comes to things like bourbon, it's very difficult for you to down them straight.
Yeah.
I can drink scotch that way.
Now here's the thing. There's certain things I can drink. Like you give me a. Here's the thing. I like certain whiskeys. I like certain vodkas. I've never been, like I said, and I will say this, I've never been a bourbon guy. I can drink it. I just can't. I can't sit there and sip it. I mean, I just can't. I mean, I can, but I can't. You know, it's got to be, like you said, John. You nail it. exactly. I'm a beer guy.
Yeah.
I am a beer guy. I like beer, and I like a variety of beers. I mean, I look at the flavor of beers. It's like I have a refined beer palate.
Yeah.
Versus some people have refined whiskey palates. I
Yeah.
don't have that. That's not my thing.
Like, say you go out to a bar and you can't have a beer. Okay, your top 5 favorite mixed drinks.
Oh shit. I like vodka tonic.
Okay, I'm there with you because people would normally order vodka soda, but I'd rather have tonic.
I'd rather have tonic than vodka soda. I'd rather have
The
tonic.
only thing I put soda in is scotch, because scotch and sodas.
Let's see, mixed drinks here. If I don't want to get stupid,
Yeah.
I'll do an amaretto sour. Believe it or not.
Yeah, understandable.
If I don't want to get stupid, I mean,
because say you're going someplace and the only beer they have is Leffy.
Oh, fuck.
And then they got
please
or Big Timber.
I would
IPA.
leave. I would walk out.
But yeah, here's how I'll set this up.
No, I like a 7 and 7.
Okay, yeah. You go to like a private event, like a wedding or something that's got an open bar.
Yeah.
But you find out the only beer they have on tap is either Leffy, Big Timber IPA, the pine cone stuff, or the Bananas Foster.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I like 7 and 7s.
Okay.
I mean, that's a drink I can drink. Let's see here. Like I said, vodka and tonic I could do.
The bar can make pretty much
sour,
anything too.
Anything I can mix with vodka.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, I do like. I mean, I'll do vodka and cranberry.
Mhm. That's Cape Cod.
Yeah,
If I told you I was going to bring you a Cuba Libre, what am I bringing you?
Don't know, but I like the other one. I like is a mojito. I love mojitos. I love mojitos.
I was drunk on those both years. I went to Scottsdale for the reward trip.
Yeah,
because that was the first time I had ever had one, and God, they were good. And
yeah,
at $12 a pop when the company was paying for them, you better damn believe every time I had a half one, they were bringing me another one.
Get me on a trip. I mean, I'll drink a Bloody Mary all day long. Especially the spicier the better.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean,
I like Crown and Cola.
Yeah.
I like it's like anything. I love Crown Royal.
Yeah.
Crown and Cola is great. Captain and Coke.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'll drink that.
For you, John, and I'm not talking going up and ordering a bourbon on the rocks. If you had to order a mixed drink, because I know you're not a beer guy, and I'm not talking doing shots of tequila.
I mean,
we got to get you.
I'll drink a Long Island any day too.
Of course. Yeah, we got to get you drinking better tequila than just Cuervo.
Well, absolutely. I drink Patron too. So
yeah, Patron's good. Like I
but
said,
I'll tell you the best I've had so far. Seriously, is this new tequila called Santo?
Santo, okay.
Yes, it is done by Sammy Hagar.
Okay.
And Guy Fieri.
Okay, I remember you telling me about that.
We talked about that before. Yeah.
There are 3 different kinds of it. Trust me. I've just had the Blanco, which is like
the white,
really good Blanco.
Yeah.
I haven't tried the other ones yet.
Yeah, because
I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, because when you get your tequila, your Blanco is your really young white tequila. Your Reposado is your gold tequila that's been aged a few years. Then you go get up closer to 10 years, it turns real dark, like Captain Morgan rum, and that's añejo.
Yep.
And then when I went up to get my when I went up the last time to buy my booze, I was up the counter and cashing in lottery tickets, and the guy bought a bottle of, they have Don Julio only behind the counter, and it's like $100 a fifth.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's like I won't spend that kind of money on tequila. I mean, I've had I'm a Cabo guy.
Cabo's good.
And Reposado.
Cabo is good. I have a bottle of that.
I like Cabo. I haven't had it in a long time, but I've had Cabo. I like Cabo.
So, but yeah, your five go-to mixed drinks if you're out and about.
Okay, well, my go-to mixed drink, and I got to thank my good friend Jennifer for making this for me. Is what she does for me. She gives me some Patron.
Okay.
And then she mixes it half and half with a Sprite.
Okay. Ooh. That wouldn't be that bad.
That wouldn't be bad at all.
No, because my friend Russ, his wife, when we go out for drinks, she drinks tequila and pineapple.
Okay.
That can work as well.
Now,
That's her go-to.
Now, see, here's the thing: like whiskey, like any whiskey for me, another mixer. Now,
Yeah.
any whiskey with a pineapple, I like
Yeah.
too. I mean, whether it's bourbon or Scotch whiskey or I mean, the Scotch I like straight.
Yeah.
I mean, but like any I got the Seagram Sevens back here.
Yeah.
I'll drink that. Give me. I'll
Seven.
even drink that with ginger ale. If
Yeah.
I don't have 7-Up, I'll drink it with ginger ale.
Yeah.
Right.
Seagram's makes a lot of different kind of alcohol.
Yeah, I love the Seagram 7. Though.
Yeah,
I'll tell you another mixed drink I like is a screwdriver.
Of course.
I love screwdrivers.
A classic.
Yes. I'll tell you another mixed drink I like.
Uh-huh.
You'll guess they'll laugh at this. Is a mimosa.
Yeah.
Mimosas are good.
Now,
Champagne and orange juice.
Now, here's the thing: a true mimosa should be made with prosecco and not champagne.
That is true.
Because a mimosa is an Italian drink, is an Italian cocktail, and it should and they would have with breakfast because they would put out the prosecco, which is Italian champagne, Italian sparkling wine,
right?
But that's because I mean I've had it with champagne and OJ, which is fine. I mean, they taste close enough. But yeah, okay, a mimosa, definitely a mimosa. I'm right there with you. Although I've had my grapefruit juice.
Now, what's funny is there's the place that I go to in Las Vegas when I go to bowling nationals.
Yeah,
they have mimosas on the weekends on a Sunday. Limitless mimosa.
Oh yeah, I'd be in trouble.
Yeah,
because they go down.
I think we all would be.
Oh, no doubt.
Because they go down way too easy.
Well,
Exactly.
I was when I was up at Put in Bay. I started out my mornings with some good Bloody Marys.
Yeah.
It's like Bloody Marys. I mean, that's just the one drink I can really, really enjoy. I mean, I can. If I had some good tomato juice right now and some hot sauce and give me the pepper and some celery salt and the Worcestershire. I mean, I got most of the ingredients, but give me all that.
And you see the meals that people are garnishing it with?
Oh my God!
They're putting like a quarter of a chicken on it and a club sandwich to
yeah.
garnish it.
Yeah.
Here's the drink's like
that
6-8 inches tall.
Yeah.
But add another foot with all the garnish that they give you.
Yeah. Well, I've had. I think one of the best ones I had was up there. It was super spicy. It was up in this place. They threw a dill pickle in it. They threw like 6 olives in it. They threw some peppers in there, like those pepperoncini peppers, and then they had bacon on it. And it's like, holy shit! It was so good.
They just like totally, or get a Bloody Caesar, and that's got clamato in it.
Oh, I love clamato.
Instead of
another name for them, they call them clam diggers too. Have you heard of it? Yeah.
Never does, but I've heard of like a
clam
bloody...
digger. Yeah, it's the same thing. Bloody Caesar and a clamato. But clam digger, same thing.
Clam digger,
same,
okay.
Same drink, but those are good too.
I'll tell you guys another mixed drink I used to drink many years ago, like 30 years ago, when I was a teenager in early 20s, was a blue kamikaze.
Blue kamikaze.
Now, that's an old drink, but it's a mixed drink.
Okay.
It's got Kahlua in it, I believe.
Okay.
It's got I think Curacau's in it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, blue Curacao. Yeah.
I have to look it up here actually, but because it's been so darn long and nobody hardly ever makes it.
Now, if you ever go to New Orleans during Mardi Gras, I mean, a Sazerac's like the official drink of New Orleans, but that's all booze.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Totally all booze. But if you want to get something that's a little fruity, have you ever had a hurricane?
Oh yes,
absolutely, sir.
No doubt. Yes.
They make them in like the real tall glasses.
Oh yeah.
They use 32-ounce glasses to go.
Oh yeah. And you get those down there, and it's like you just suck those down because they taste like Kool-Aid.
Mm-hmm.
I remember
they taste like if you get it made right. You got to go like Pat O'Brien's, get it made right. It tastes like a cherry Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll tell you one of my
a little
ultimate
bit sour cherry Kool-Aid,
favorite
Kool-Aid
mixed things to ever drink.
Can't
go wrong as a margarita.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love margaritas.
Now margaritas is a good thing because that you can use like you don't have to use real top shelf tequila in it with everything else. And now here's the thing. Some bars will use triple sec as their orange liqueur.
Mm-hmm.
Some go with Grand Marnier. Some go with I'm trying to think of the other one, not Grand Marnier, Cointreau.
Mm-hmm.
So, but a lot of places I know make a perfect margarita.
Mm-hmm.
They still do the lime juice.
Yep.
They do tequila, and then they do a 50-50 between Grand Marnier And
one of the best places I've ever had a freshly made margarita.
Yeah.
You ever hear of Tito's?
Yeah.
Okay, the little Mexican place in Fairlawn.
West Akron, yeah.
Yeah. Go and get one there.
Okay.
Tell them because they do the frozen, they do the pre-made shit. No, they also like, okay, I want the real one.
Yeah.
Give me a fresh one.
Because I get.
Oh my God.
I will because I'll tell you what. The night my stepmom died, me and my ex Kelly went and had dinner, and she's like, "You have a drink. You know, I know you're probably not going to go out and work or nothing tonight, so have one drink." And I got a margarita, and I knew the girl bartending behind, and I said, "You know, give me the big one, but here's how I want you to make it." And I said, "I don't want the triple second. I don't want the mix in there."
Yeah.
So, and she properly made it for me. It was probably one of the best I had. But you got to tell the bartender you want it 50-50, Grand Marnier and Cointreau. And then you obviously want the lime juice. You want your tequila.
Right.
And I drink mine on the rocks. I don't like mine frozen. And
Right.
So, and got to have a little salt rim in the glass. But yeah, I mean,
I like them
margarita.
both. I like them both ways. I like them frozen and on the rocks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not much of a frozen. The same way, like I can't drink daiquiris. I mean, never had a taste for that.
Never had a taste for those either. No.
I mean,
those are too sweet for me.
I mean, I was a Captain and Coke guy for the longest time.
So was I. I mean, really, I was too.
I mean, if I can go somewhere and it's just like I need something, okay, give me Captain and Coke, you know, hook me up.
Yep.
Gin and tonic.
Yep.
Or if you ever have a chance to try a Tom Collins.
Never had one.
Goodness, yes.
It's gin, soda water, and lemon juice.
Yeah.
Lemon juice.
Yeah, add the lemon juice to it, and you know it'll taste kind of like a lemonade, like an alcoholic lemonade, like a spiked lemonade, because with the addition of the lemon juice in the drink.
Right.
I mean, it's one thing to garnish your drink with a lemon and drop it in there for a little bit.
Sure.
It's another thing to add the lemon juice to it.
Right.
So Tom Collins is good. A Negrino, but that's an Italian thing. That's gin, sweet vermouth.
You know what?
And
one
then
thing I
I
haven't had in a
remember-
long time was a Manhattan. I haven't had one. I haven't had one in a long many moons since I've had a Manhattan.
Or a Rob Roy.
Oh, Rob Roy. Now you're going way back
Yeah.
there.
I mean, it's like, you go back to some of even the older drinks, like an old fashioned. And, you know, it's like when you said a Manhattan, and I'm like sitting there thinking, yeah, it's just like, you know, you got to put the cherry in the top of the glass, don't muddle it, you know, that way the cherry floats on the top of it.
Yep.
And it's, but that's just, you know, one of those little sit down sipping cocktails.
Right.
And that's something you're going to chug. Oh, break.
Yep, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this important message and our final clip tonight from Neat. Stay tuned, everybody.
Concentrate, madame. When did you lose your little dog?
What little dog? I don't have a little dog.
Then why have you come to Swami?
To find out the secret, of course.
The secret? You mean the Jenny secret? Ah, for this, Swami must go into a trance. That is Hemlock Lake, the purest natural brewing water in the U.S. of A.
For goodness sake.
And nature's finest hops and grain.
Just look at it. Oh, my.
Combined in a special way, they produce the Genesee secret, lightness with flavor in Genesee beer.
That looks just yummy, Swami. Swami, however did you do it?
'Tis nothing. I simply call upon my Jenny.
Isn't that pronounced genie?
Not on this commercial.
There's one sure way to beat that tired, thirsty feeling that naturally follows a hard day's work. Just stop in at your friendly Stag Tavern. Look for the sign of quality, Stag Beer on Draft, and order a cold, thirst-quenching glass of famous Stag Beer. There's nothing else quite as refreshing, as satisfying, and as downright good tasting. Because Stag's flavor is the result of over a century of brewing experience. Notice Stag's rich, creamy head. Taste its can't-be-copied, smooth, dry flavor. It's America's first dry beer. Extra brew to give you that extra beer-drinking pleasure. Enjoy a cold, golden glassful of Stag Beer on Draft today
at your friendly Stag Tavern.
The Some Kind of Radio Show will be back in a moment.
When Dad rolled out the 6 millionth barrel, Julian Van Winkle gave me, as a gift to my dad, this bottle of 20-year-old Pappy. So I take the bottle and I open it up and I pour a little bit in his glass, pour a little bit in my brother's glass, pour some in my glass, and I go to put the stopper back in the bottle, and he looks at me and he gives me this weird look and he says, "What on earth are you doing?" I said, "Dad, I don't understand." I said, "This is a really, really good bottle of bourbon." I said, "It's really being sought after." He said, "I'm aware of that." I said, "So what I'm thinking is I'm just saving it so that we can do some more toast later on." He says, "Never, ever do that with friends and family. There will always be more old barrels of bourbon being made." He says, "Look at me and look at your brother."
It's a shame, but
He says, "We're the fragile part of this whole thing."
it's got to happen.
He said, "So never ever save old bottles of bourbon, okay? They're meant to be enjoyed with friends and family at the moment." It was the first time that my father and my brother and I had spent 3 hours together, just us, talking, laughing, discussing things that we had done that we didn't think he knew we had done. And then we started telling him about things that he had done that he didn't know that we knew he had done. We had the best time. We finished the bottle. 9 months later, they were both gone. It's not about the whiskey. It's about the lives you touch and the people you meet. And the whiskey's a byproduct of a good relationship.
You are tuned into the Some Kind of Radio Show. Call now at 234-200-5110. Now, back to Earl McCune and the Crazy Crew.
All right, we're back. Final 15 minutes of the night. Some Kind of Radio Show. That was the last time you'll ever hear call 234-250-110 on this show because those recordings are going bye-bye because we don't have a phone line anymore. We took it out.
Sorry, Jason.
But, yeah, we took that out because, again, why pay $24 a month or whatever it was? It's $24 a month, $24.99 to have one phone call every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's
Doesn't make
like,
sense.
it just didn't make sense. It's like, when we had the station at SKO, it made sense to have the phones.
Because we have different varying programs.
Yeah. And here we have one live show every 2 weeks. Everything else is podcast and music. That's it. So why do it? You know, I mean, plus, like I said, we do this station as a hobby. You know, I mean, we pay to keep the station operational, but we do this as a hobby, and this is a fun hobby. Plus, it gets all of us friends together. You know, I mean, we've all been friends for 5 or 6 years now. I've known John going on, good Lord,
It's probably been 15 or so.
15 or 16 years. You know, and it gives us a chance. This is how John and I stay connected, is doing the show. I made friends with Mike, obviously.
Yeah.
Ben, I mean, it keeps us on, Aaron, it keeps us all kind of doing shit together because we enjoy doing this, and it's, again, like we talked about, it's a release for us. This is my stress relief for the week. We do it every 2 weeks now because of just schedules and everything else, and the fact we got so much content, if we need to run a rerun, we got enough.
Yeah.
But I don't think we really need to worry about running reruns either. So we were doing that for a little bit, but just we may do that here after the first year again, start running reruns again. But I got to go through and refine some of the recordings a little bit before I do it again. But
Because the quality's just gotten better over the years.
The quality's gotten better over the years, and even the ones we have are still good. We have a good amount of rerun. We have a good amount since we started doing a show here as a podcast. We go back almost 2 years now doing them here. So
Right.
Hell, we're January 20th. Back alleys will be a year old. And then it's like, good Lord, it's like time flies.
Yeah, it went fast. It's like hard to believe. It's like next week's Thanksgiving.
Next week's Thanksgiving already, and then a couple weeks, a month after that's Christmas, and then New Year's, and it's like, oh my God, it's like, where's the time gone? Feels like just yesterday was 4th of July. I mean, it's like, where is the time gone? But as I said, we got to have our own little releases, and this is what we do. Again, this is not we don't do this station for profit or money. We do this it gets us an excuse to get together, shoot the shit, have a few drinks, BS, and catch up on times, and we just have fun. I mean, that's what this show is about, and we have our loyal pack of people that still tune into us, and they still say, hey, it's still a funny show, and we still make it interesting and new every week. So, and we try to do new things all the time, and like I said, we're going to be doing some additional things going into 2022. Of course, we're going to be celebrating 10 years of some kind of radio show all next year. Hard to believe.
10 years.
10 years on the air. John, would you have thought when we started doing this 10 years ago, we'd still be doing it 10 years later?
Honest to goodness, Earl, no.
Yeah, me too.
But let's think about 10 years ago. Let's go the way back machine.
Yeah, let's take a trip back in time.
Yeah, let's think about this. Think about where we both were 10 years ago.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I remember when your Holly was just a pup, for goodness sakes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how long ago it's been.
Right.
And you were, of course, with Debbie, God rest her soul.
Mm-hmm.
And of course I was in a whole different place with things, and
absolutely.
And I remember going to those bowling tournaments, having fun with all of us.
Oh, sure. Yep.
I always enjoy coming up to Ohio, and I still owe Mr. Ritzinger a little jibe here and there,
Oh yes, of course. But it's funny, and you think about how we started doing this show. We did it as a 30-minute show.
30-minute show.
It's like, okay, we figured, okay, we'll do this for a year or two until we get tired of it. Here we are 10 years later, still doing it. And,
3 hours at a time.
3 hours at a time. We did the 4-hour thing for a while.
We did a 4-hour version. Oh my God.
No, we will never do that again unless it's like a special or something like that. But
yeah.
Oh God, that wore us all out, I think. Seriously.
Yeah.
Well, considering where we were at one time, we had to do a 4-hour.
We were forced to do 4 hours.
Yeah.
Because at the one time when we first started doing the show on internet radio, it was mandated we did 4 hours.
Yeah.
They demanded 4 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. I was never planned on doing 4 hours. Originally, the show was when we were set to go into this, we were doing a 3 hour
show. Yeah.
That was what we were gonna do. It's like, God, that 4th hour just killed us. It's funny. We kind of stuck with 4 hours because we got used to doing it when we started. But now I'm like, God, why do 4 hours? Just do 3.
3's enough.
3 is plenty. Like tonight we did 2 because we had a computer issue, but that's okay. It is what it is. But
well, that was like when I was doing my sports show when we were over at the other place. I initially had it to go 7 to 10, and I'm like, I cannot fill 3 hours. I can fill 2.
Yeah, 3 hours by yourself is tough.
Yeah.
3 hours, just the three of us. This show really relies on 4 in the format.
Yeah.
You got to have that 4th guy in there just to kind of break up,
right?
A little bit. It's 3. I mean, we're doing it with 3, but at the same time, it's like you really need that 4th guy just to kind of jump in with those zingers every now and then.
Yeah.
And tonight we would have that, but Mike is out until 2 weeks from now. He's on the mend. He's recovering from COVID. And he's doing well, so that is the positive. Everyone in the family over there is doing well, so which is wonderful news. So and then Aaron's doing his thing tonight, and
yeah, I actually heard from him actually.
Yeah, I saw the message. I mean, I totally understand when you gotta go do cockfights to make extra money. I understand.
Yeah.
I mean. And it's not the kind of cockfight you're thinking about. It's like he's actually whipping it out and you're touching tips. That's all I can say.
I hope Aaron's getting a handicap.
Right, exactly. Exactly, Tony.
Because I remember when we first, I had to laugh when we first remodeled the studio, when we started Back Alley. I remember Aaron saying this place looks like a place you'd have a lot of cockfights in. So, so that's the only reason I brought the line up. So, but we have brightened it up a little bit since then. But it's not as dark in here as it was. But
yeah,
definitely more. It's definitely more comfortable in here now than it was.
Most definitely,
it's way more comfortable in here now. We got the sofa and the TV. Got the coffee table over there. It's off camera. And we got some very nice lighting in here. I remember when we started doing it when we had remember that real bright light we had, we had that big bright. I mean, you can get a suntan underneath this thing. It's like we don't need that much light. Plus with the white walls, like even right now, I put that in here just to see how bright. Oh my God, it's just like how do we ever do that? But we figured, we need it bright. But no, you really don't. If you have enough light. And we run multicolor lights in here. There's only two. There's only the only white lights in this whole place is the light off the drape behind us that runs up, the light around the room on the floor, and the lights that are in the lounge area.
Yeah.
And everything else is blue, green, red. I mean, everything else in this room is blue, green, and red. There is no other white light in this place.
Nope.
I mean, if you light it right. And then you get this look where it's, it's colorful and it's warm. It's warm. It's warm light. It's warm light, and it's that warm, comfortable light. It's like right now, since I put this whole thing over here in, my kids are down here more than I am. They want to be in here.
They want to come down and play their play their Xbox.
They play their PlayStation games and they sit down here and eat popcorn and candy and junk, and it's like, why? This is my. Oh, okay, I get it. You guys like it down here too, But hey, whatever, I like it down here. There's many nights I've come down here just to. I'll put a movie on and chill. I'll.
But Lori's sleep and
Lori's in bed. I'll come down here. I'll grab a beer out of the fridge, plop down there on the couch, turn the movie on. Watch some TV and relax.
Yeah,
and it's nice. It's nice, because now we have some sports memorabilia on the walls, and it's mostly Cleveland Indians stuff.
Yeah,
sorry,
Indians, not Guardians.
Not Guardians, because as of today, they are officially the Cleveland Guardians officially.
Yeah.
And I remember
it still gets me angry. I'm sorry.
It pisses me off too, to no end. I wore an Indians jacket today out, and I had somebody yell at me for wearing it. It's not the Cleveland Indians anymore. It's the Guardians. You should go get a Guardians coat. I said, why, are you going to buy it for me?
Yeah.
I says, I'm not buying one. Sorry.
I mean, I spent some money on some World Series gear, but it's it's on back order. I probably won't have it till after the first of the year.
Right. Well, it's like everything else is on back order. Everything is on back order.
The whole world's on back order.
You know what I would love to find? Here's what I would love to find would be, and you know they existed, and somebody had to have snagged one or two, was a 2021 Houston Astros World Series champion T-shirt.
Yeah.
Because for as fast
you can find them.
Yeah. What's funny is because when the companies that make those, they usually send them off to like Africa or something.
Mm-hmm.
To like where the underprivileged kids are.
Yeah.
That's their clothes donation because obviously they can't use them here.
Right.
Because the Astros didn't win.
Yeah, they pre-produce for both teams.
Yep.
And the one that wins is the ones they're going to put out.
Yeah, and then the other ones, they'll send them away to like some underprivileged kid. We'll see a kid walking around 2021 Houston Astros World Series champion hat or something, and it's just like I would want to find a mistake thing like that.
Mm-hmm.
A 2016 Cleveland Indians World Series champion T-shirt.
Yeah, right, exactly. The series we should have actually won, but didn't.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
get
into
don't even get me started about the Indians should have won that series, no doubt.
Yeah.
Hey, I called in on my favorite morning show the day after the Braves won the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. French, you know who we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Calls me up and he's like, how the hell can you be a Braves fan? And I said, I grew up watching them on TBS.
Mm-hmm.
And, I grew to like Dale Murphy, Hammer and Hank Aaron played for him.
Right.
A lot of blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, here's the thing. Now you can't say that the only World Series the Braves won had a supposed wide strike zone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he's like, I guess it's true.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, we were the worst of the
Well,
sixth.
yeah, that was really bad, that game. But God rest an umpire's soul, because he died, 6 or 7 years after that game.
Yeah. And
Eric
I'm like,
Gregg,
well, we just had 3 of the best pitchers of that decade.
Right.
Happened to be on the same team, but I'm just like, now, look at 2021 Braves. We had the worst record out of the 6 division winners. I had Tadpole here running his mouth told me the Brewers going to walk all over the Braves in the divisional series. I didn't see Aaron and his LA Dodgers crap.
No.
Through the entire LCS.
No.
Then everybody told me, they were like, yeah, the Braves are going to lose in 6. I can guarantee you that.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys will win a couple of games, but and I'm just like, okay, we're going to lose in 6, right? Nobody says nothing to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Let
me tell you something. I'll tell you something about the Braves. In all honesty,
you got
a guy like Freddie Freeman in your lineup.
Yeah.
The guy is a very consistent hitter.
Yep.
Which is a very good thing when it comes to playoff baseball.
Oh yeah.
Period. I don't care what anybody says. The guy has the same approach no matter what at bat it is.
Yep.
And some guys, and yeah, there's guys that show up big in the playoffs. I mean, my goodness. I mean, if you look at Tampa, what was it last year?
Yeah.
For 2020, they had that Rosarena kid showed up real big. But did they really win it? No.
Nope.
Dodgers pitching came through. But this year, the Braves had the right mixture.
Yep.
And they had the right attitude to say, "Hey guys, we're done. We're gonna take this away from you."
Yep.
And Houston, I remember when Houston was before they went to the American League.
Yeah. When they were a
Houston
National
was
League team.
So bad.
Oh, forever.
So bad.
And
all of a sudden, all these draft picks, they started getting good, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, what are they doing here?
Well, and that's the thing with it's funny because it's like
it was a plan.
It's like before the All-Star break, the Braves won 44, and they won 44 after the All-Star break.
Mm-hmm.
Acuna, our best player, was out before the All-Star break. We were written off as being done. He's your star.
Mm-hmm.
Blah, blah, blah. We didn't worry about that. We made some acquisition. We got Jack Peterson. We got Soler, which we're going to try re-signing Soler, obviously, but he's in free agency right now to see what he can get. And then
Soler's a little bit greedy, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like if we can sign him, yeah. We already a lot of our people are still there, at least a couple years. I know Swanson's going to stick around. Darno, blah blah blah. Ozzy Albies is already signed for a while. Mm-hmm. Our pitchers are signed for a good amount of time.
Right.
And then we only need Marcelo Ozuna. He got kicked out because he had a court case for like some violence or something, and that hasn't been resolved yet. If he gets that resolved, If we can get that resolved, he can come back and play next year. More contribution, and we'll have damn near the same team next year. So
right. Well, that's exactly right. The Braves are going to be a contender next year too.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
The last team to win any kind of back-to-back World Series, Steinbrenner.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And they three-peated.
Right.
So.
Well, it is 10 o'clock, guys.
All righty.
So, we'll see everybody in 2 weeks. We're going to salute a Christmas movie next week, or in 2 weeks. I don't know which one yet, but we will salute something. And it's going to be Christmas related. Following show, we already know what that show is going to be. That's going to be our Christmas karaoke and parody Christmas tune night on our Christmas party.
Yep.
Here at Back Alley Radio. So,
and there will be special appearances by unknown people.
Special appearances and some disappearances you don't know. Anything could happen. We don't know.
Yeah, Iljack may even show up. God knows.
He might show up. We don't know.
That son of a bitch come back from Vegas and say, got a tan and everything. He says, I reckon my bones itch.
He called me the other day. He's still living life out there, and he said him and Candy are doing well. So
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I like to meet this candy chick. Maybe give her $10 or so to my life. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is Hill Jack. I can't believe this woman's hot. That's all I can say.
Well, hey, I'll be honest with you. Let's be honest about this. Sometimes the not so good looking ones are the best at some other things.
True, but then again, I don't know. This is Hill Jack we're talking about.
It's Hill Jack, so yeah.
She could
Anyways.
tolerate the smell, and just think about it. She lets that smell go inside her.
Oh my God.
I mean, think about it for a second.
Yeah.
Right.
Think about it
Just
for a
to let
second.
you know, boys, the Blantons is gone.
The Blantons is gone. You picked a good night to finish it, John. On a night we're doing a salute to bourbon.
Exactly.
The stars were aligned.
Well, there's some kind of stars aligned, but I don't know what stars they are.
All right, everybody. We'll be back in 2 weeks. We'll see everybody then. Have a great night.
Night all.
See ya.